Hello, you're welcome back. So in this class, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make use of frame. Right, got so many questions. So many questions, and so this is how I answer it. So this is your frame. So you can see that's your hash. This other one is your rectangular toolbar. All right, that's your rectangle. Now both of them gives you the same tip, but they are different. Okay, so let's use our frame. Our frame is your body. All right. For example, let's say we are building a website. This is what we do with our frame. You just click on it and you drag. You can see this is your body already. All right. So the frame is the body of your website. Now, what you have to do now is to, you can see the name. This is frame 60. So on this particular page, I've used over, this is 60th frame that I've used that to show you how useful it is. Now, in order for you to know the particular frame, so you can see this here is frame 60. This is on your left hand bar. Here you can actually just double click the name. We can change that so that just in case you are looking for a particular this particular frame, you will just give it a name that you can remember with. If it's a page, give it a page name. If it's an old page, give it an old page name or any name of your choice. So I'm just going to write something there. So I'll zoom it in so you can see it's as a test frame, right? Because I'm using this frame to teach, right? Test frame. Now this same frame that you use for your body, you can see the name has changed on your left hand bar. So totally the name has changed. So if you're looking for this particular, I'll just go far to my left hand bar, click on it and it will show up. All right. Now so this is my frame. Now I want to show you the difference. Now I'm going to now over here, let me zoom this so you can see. So what we have here, we have our rectangle. If you click on arrow on your keyboard, it's going to show up. That's your rectangle. It's almost the same thing as frame, but it's different. Okay, we have rectangle, we have line, we have arrow, eclipse, polygon. So rectangle acts like all others. All right, the last one we have here is image and video. If you want to upload image and video to your design, that's what you click on. All right, that's it. As you can see. So let me just draw our rectangle toolbar. Our rectangle tool, so you can see rectangle. That's it. So I'm going to go ahead and mimic it with frame so that I can show you what frame is capable of. All right, you can see that everything is inside the frame. All right, no one is going outside. All right, so everything is inside the frame. Even though I draw the rectangle outside the frame, it still went inside the frame. Let me draw on that frame. This is a frame. It's still going to enter inside the frame. It's not going to be outside. So that's why frame is used for the body. Let me go down and change the color of this frame so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so you can see the frame is inside. It doesn't go outside. Okay, it will only preview what is inside the body because the frame is actually your body. Okay, so I want to input image inside this frame. I also input image is inside our rectangle. So let's see what happens. So the rectangle doesn't have any of those features at all. It doesn't have any of those features. So frame literally can do almost everything. It's not just only used for your website body design. It's actually used for almost everything. So if I click on my image, you understand, you can see the image showing on my mouse. I'm going to drag it down. You understand, that's how you input your image. Now you can see that the image, I drag it down. Because I drag it down inside the frame, that's inside this bigger frame, you can see that the image is automatically inside the frame. All right, you can see the one that is outside doesn't show. It only display what is inside the frame. All right, just like what the body is doing. Okay, now then I'm going to add image to my rectangle. All right, I'll add image to my rectangle so that you can see the difference between the rectangle and the frame. Click on that. So I just wait for the image to load. So when the image load, it's going to show up on my mouse. As you can see, it has already shown up. Now you can see the image is, let's check it now. You can see the image did not enter inside the rectangle, right? Because the rectangle does not have those features to be able to, take in the image. So this is the big difference between the rectangle and the frame. So the frame is mostly more useful than the rectangle. There are scenarios where you use the rectangle. Maybe you want to design a logo, design a button, right? You can see that the image, it can't enter inside the rectangle. Even though I actually drag the image inside the rectangle, it did not automatically power clip inside. On CorelDRAW or on graphics, we call it power clip. It enter inside the design, inside your environment, that it doesn't show outside. Only those that are inside your environment to show. Now the rectangle doesn't have that features. That's why rectangle is not being used. You don't use the rectangle to design your body because it doesn't have the features to take over to take on your body. Okay, now I'm going to have to delete the rectangle so that you can understand what I'm talking about. I'll delete this rectangle, then I'm going to input another frame here. Let me delete the image. So instead of the rectangle, I'll go to my frame. Now I will use frame. Okay, don't forget, click on S on your keyboard and then frame will show up. All right, so let me change the color so that we can see the frame very well. Now I'm going to go over to image and add my image. Now you're going to see that what the rectangle could not do is going to happen with the frame. So I'm just trying to correct the statement between frame and rectangle so that you know which and which to use depending on your designs and what you are doing. Okay, now I'm going to drag it. Now this feature is what I want. I want my image to be inside this placement. Okay, so I can't use rectangle for that. You can see everything is inside. So this is the difference between frame and rectangle. All right. So don't forget, if you click on your rectangle, your F on your keyboard will give you your rectangle. Your F